Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video, we are going to learn what is multithreading in Java. So it is one of the most important questions. What is multithreading in Java? So multithreading is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously in Java. So multithreading is used to run multiple threads simultaneously. Multithreading is a feature that allows concurrent execution of two or more parts of a program. So instead of sequential programming, we will execute the program parallelly, which are independent. So that is why multithreading is important. So think of it as doing multiple tasks at the same time. So it will save the time, right? If you are doing multiple tasks at the same time. It is like listening to music while browsing the internet. So you are basically doing two tasks. So you are doing multitasking, and that is achieved through multithreading in Java. So why use multithreading? So we use multithreading because there are benefits of using multithreading. So it improves the performance by making efficient use of CPU, simplified modeling of real world scenarios, better resource utilization. So these are some of the benefits that you can answer why we need to make use of multithreading. Example, downloading multiple files simultaneously. So this is also a implementation of multithreading. So that is the theory about multi-threading. But what is thread actually? Because what we say, multi-threading is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously. What is a thread? So thread is a lightweight process. Every Java program has at least one thread known as main thread. So in your Java program, you can have multiple threads, but we will have one thread at least in every Java program, which is a main thread. So that is about thread. So how to achieve multi-threading? So now we have understood what is a multi-threading, but how to achieve multi-threading in a Java program? So in Java, there are two ways in which you can achieve the multi-threading. First one is making use of thread class, and second is making use of runnable interface. So remember these two words. One is a class, which is a thread class. One is an interface, which is a runnable interface. So if you want to make use of a class, then you need to extend the thread class. And if you want to make use of an interface, then in that case, you need to implement the runnable interface. So these are the two ways to achieve the multi-threading. Let's see how to make use of these two ways. So first we will see extending the thread class. So here you have one class, myThread, and this class extend the thread class. And inside this thread class, you have a run method. So basically this is a method that is used for multi-threading. Okay, remember that run method. And inside this you have your statement. So here you can have any logic. Now you have another class called test. Inside this class you will have one main method. Now when you need to create a thread of your class, so you can directly create the object of myThread class, which is your class, and that is extending the thread class. So you can have object even, and then you need to call this run method. So you don't need to call it by run. Instead, you need to call it with start. So basically, this is a creation of thread. So T1 is your thread, and when you need to start a thread, you need to directly say your start, and by default, it will call this run method. So we will see in the practical implementation how it will implement it. So basically, when you call this T1.start, it will call this run method, and you will get this message as thread is running. So this was about extending the thread class. Second way is using the runnable interface. So again, you will have your class. So you can have any name here. So here we have provided my runnable, and then you need to say implements runnable. In the previous example, we were extending the thread class. In this, we are implementing the runnable interface. Again, there will be a run method. Same logic here, same method, same syntax, same implementation. We will have one here, sysout statement. Again, you will have your class test. You will have a main method. Here also we have the test class. Then we have the main method. But here, when you are extending the thread class, you can directly create the object of your class, which is my thread. But here, what you need to do, you need to create the object of your class, my runnable. myRunnable r is equal to new runnable. And you can't directly call the run method with the help of start using this object of runnable. You need to create the object of thread class. Thread class is this particular class, right? Which we are extending. So here you need to create the object of thread class. You need to pass the object of a class which is implementing the runnable. So basically this my runnable object R, you need to pass it inside this thread class object, and then with the help of this object you need to call this run method. And how to call this run method? With the help of start method. So these are the two ways in which you can implement the multi-threading. So this was the theory about multi-threading. So what we have understood here, what is multi-threading in Java, what are the uses of multi-threading, what is thread in Java, and what are the two ways to achieve multi-threading in Java. So we have seen two ways how to make use of thread class, and second is using the runnable interface. In the next video, we will see practical implementation of thread class, and then we will see the practical implementation of runnable interface. That's it in this theory part of multi-threading. We will see practical implementation in next video. Thank you for watching.